Well, hi, welcome back to the show.
So for today's show, I'm going to do something completely different. I don't really teach music per se, but one night when I was going through some YouTube videos, scrolling through as we are wont to do, I ran across this guy and he had just an idea that blew my mind and gave me complete satori over the entire guitar neck. And I added a few refinements to it, and I'm going to share it with you now. So if I even made some notes. So no more memorizing, no more boxes or positions. Just a few simple rules and patterns unlock the entire fretboard. Seriously, this thing works. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get yourself a piece of paper and a pen, and we're going to make a little diagram. You might want to screen save that or pause and whatever, but I'll cover it again when we get back into the show. So stick around and thanks for watching. Share our videos.
Subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share.
So today I'm going to talk about this endless pattern. See right here, what you have are 3 X patterns, 2 Y patterns, 2 Z patterns, and then the whole thing repeats as you go further down on the infinite neck. So if there were 1,000 strings, this pattern just keeps going, but it also rotates back around, and I'll show you about that when we're going over the instrument on it. So I've labeled them X1, X2, X3, Y1, Y2, Z1, Z2, and yeah, I've got X's. That's where you start for the minor scale presentation, and I've got O's, and that's where you'd start for the major scale presentation. Now, how this works is the pattern repeats everywhere on the neck. And using this system, you can start at any note, any place here. And just whip off a scale by following the patterns. You don't even have to know what it is. And it's not boxes, and it's not, oh, I got to have this box here and I got to have that box there. You're making up scales on the fly. Now, to show you how this works for going along here, I'm going to sit in here awkward and try and show you as much of the neck as possible. So I'm going to just lay out the G major. For the G major, we're going to start on X2, which is the middle of the 3 X's. And we're gonna go X2, X3, Y1, Y2, Z1, and Z2, and it goes like this. You have your X. That's X1 or 2 and 3, and then there's a simple rule because these are all spaced every other fret. The next one, going from X to Y, you move up 1 fret, and then it's the next fret and a 3rd one. And then you do your Y2. And then because you're jumping from the G string to the B string, you always have to move up 1 on the next string anyway. So then you're going with your Z, which is you skip 1 and then you're on the next one. So you put that all together and it's... And the patterns follow. And it works everywhere. So when you go down to if you drop down one note to the C and you use that as your root tone, you'll notice here I've got a little O on the root for the root tone there on the second X. So we're starting off of a root tone. So we'll do X2 and 3 going down, and we'll skip the first string. And then because we have to jump and we're doing the second Y, we're not there, we're there. So it's and then just your regular Z. See, it's that easy. And then when you go back down, it's I want a heavier pick for this. I shouldn't have had all that coffee this morning either. No, it's see, I screwed up there, but I can come back up and then go down again. And then I've got one more X behind that. And then if you go up to like the F, it's the same deal. And then you have your extra X there, and then you're back to Z. But for this Z, there's no changes, so you're actually starting here. And then you're back to the root tone, which is F. Now, also on the diagram, I have outlined where all of the root tones are, and you can start from any root tone. So not only can you do the G by going, you can also do it by starting on the Y1 and then going to Y2 and then Z after that. And then after your Z's, you're up at X again. Now, is that brilliant or what? And then if you want to go with the minor root, you just use one of the X's on there and you start at the minor. So for the Z1, I've got the G minor. I'll start right there and it'll go. You notice I went from a Z to an X, and I didn't have to miss a beat or skip up, because the only one you do that with is from X to Y. So it's and then I have to move because I'm going over the Rubicon of the G to a B. And then I get my third X in there. And then I have to move up one from there because I'm doing a Y. So it's really easy to do. Once you learn this simple corn roll of patterns and how it revolves around the neck, and that you can start anywhere on the neck and make this work for you. You can invent scales on the fly, and you can just start anywhere and just cruise along like it's nobody's business. So I just played an X. What do I want to do next? Maybe I'll go to a, or maybe I'll go to another X. See, it's brilliant as long as you know what it is, the shapes, these simple shapes, and you can just jam anywhere on the neck and pull melodies right out of your keister. That's what I'm sharing with you. It's a miracle. It unlocks the keyboard. Now, I've shown you this, and I keep showing you this because I want you to get it. I want you to screenshot it or do whatever it is you do. Get out your paper, get out your ruler, and copy this because it's brilliant. I'll hold it a little longer because it's brilliant. I didn't invent it, but I did add where the root tones are for the major and the minor chords. If you want to learn all the modes, then you start at every one individually, and you'll end up with all of the modes. So it's like ice cream, a la mode, yeah. But that isn't the end to all the scales, you know. So there are other scales out there, and some of them break the rules of this pattern. So when you change one of these lines in the infinite pattern, another one changes. So if you change the X3, for example, in order to play the harmonic minor, then you end up changing, I believe it's, the Y2. And here are two more patterns. You see those? Those are the two patterns that don't fit in this, but they do fit in for the minor scales and pretty much all of the other scales. And those other two patterns are 2 notes at 1 gap. You see where that's going, right? And then the other one is 2 notes and 2 gap. See, it's brilliant, I'm telling you. So you don't need to memorize huge boxes and buy rotes and get 400-page books in order to learn this stuff. You just need to learn a few simple intervals and how they fit together. So with that, I pass this knowledge on to you. Peace be with you, and have a good day. Bye.